Okay, we are in J.18, constant rate of change. It says this graph shows how the number of pies Gavin can bake is related to the number of additional cups of sugar he buys. So we have the number of pies on the y-axis, the number of cups of sugar on the x. They ask, what is the rate of change? Write your answer as a decimal or an integer. Now these are different. These are not proportional because you can see here they are not going through the 0.00. This one starts at 2. So we need a different way of coming up with a rate of change. So the way we can do that is we can start looking at this point right here, where it starts at 0, 2. And then let's look for the next point that goes through a corner or the two lines intersecting. Oh, and there's one right there. We have 5 for the height, and we have 1 down here for the cups of sugar. So we know that if we increase by 1 cup of sugar, we're going to be increasing the number of pies by 3. So you see how we have that jump of 1 this in the direction to the right, and then we go up by 3 here. So we have a 3 over 1. So that means we have 3 pies per cup of sugar. So because these aren't proportional, you can't just look at this and go 5 like we did in the past, like 5 divided by 2. That's not what's true here, because that's not going to be maintained, because 5 divided by 2 does not equal 6 divided by 4. So what we're going to do instead is just look for 2 points. So for example, I see the point 0, 4, and then I see this point right here, 5, 2. So I know in this problem that I went 2 to the right, so that means I increase 2 eggs, and then I add 1 cake. So that means that I have 1 cake for every 2 eggs. So 1 over 2, 1 divided by 2, and then it says I have to answer as a decimal or an integer, so I know 1 divided by 2 is 0.5. There we go. Remember, you're always doing the change in y over the change in x. I'm going to go ahead and jump up to the next one, so let me pause and get to the next level. And it looks like it has only 1 level, so that's all you need to worry about for J18. Look for 2 points, and you're going to find the change in y and divide it by the change in x. All right, here we are in K8. It says use the equation to complete the table. We have the equation y equals x. So for x, when we know it's 2, we also know y is 2 because they equal the same thing. You're going to go ahead and fill in that information. Now that relationship will change depending on the problem, and then you need to graph the equation. So it looks like we can graph the equation. Remember, you can graph it by just using 2 points. So I know that we have the point 2, 2, and it just kind of did this weird thing. So we have 2, 2, and then we also know like 6, 6, which is right here. And then it looks like it automatically makes it. And you go ahead and click submit. Now on this one, it's a little bit more interesting. We have y equals 2x. So we have to figure out, what is going to be the value of y here? So y equals 2x. So we have x is 1. So 2 times 1 is 2. And then 2 times 2, when our x is 2, that's 4. And then we have 3 times 2, so that's 6. And then 4 times 2, which is 8. And we're just going to take some of these and plug them in. So I'm going to look for 1, 2, and then the next one, 2, 4. So out 2, up 4. Click submit. All right. I'm going to pause and jump to the next level. Okay, so for example, this will work exactly the same way. It just has a fraction involved with it. That's all there is. So we will take our y and we just put in 0 for x because that's what they have here. So we have 1/2 times 0. Anything times 0 is 0. And then in the next one, we would have 4 times 1/2. Half of 4 is 2. 8 times 1/2. Half of 8 is 4. We also know half of 12 is 6. And then we're just going to graph it like you were doing before. So you have like 0, 0, and then 8, 4. Boom. It works exactly the same way with fractions and decimals. Again, we have